From the global headquarters of the Asgard Company in beautiful downtown Wichita Falls, Texas. From the finest mind in the modern fitness industry. The one true voice of the strength and conditioning profession. The most important podcast on the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, Starting Strength Radio. Welcome to Starting Strength Radio. Glad to have you back. This week we are here with our friend Andrew Mueller. Andrew is the executive partner in Starting Strength Dallas. He's working with Brent Carter down there, our Starting Strength coach, Brent Carter, to put together the Dallas location, and things are coming along. Quite rapidly. In fact, I'll have to admit that when I walked in today, I had on that same Starting Strength Dallas shirt, and everybody said, "Man, you guys look like gay. You know, y'all are gay." Not that there's anything wrong with that, but Andrew and I are not gay, and we didn't want to claim a status that we didn't actually deserve. So I went and changed into my Building Better Worlds T-shirt because I really like this shirt. People don't ever remark on this. I show up on Sunday at the seminar in this shirt, and nobody says anything. What do you? No, they don't know. Fucking people don't know about Whalen Corporation.
Does he know?
Surely he does.
I know.
Okay. Yeah. He's in the know.
I halfway know, at least.
What was the movie that you were an idiot if you liked?
If you liked or you didn't like?
Prometheus was supposed to be an intelligence test.
Yeah.
Right? And if you liked Prometheus, you were in fact 2-digit IQ.
No, it's the other way. Prometheus was our test for whether or not we can hang out with somebody.
Right. That's the way we interpreted it. And those of you that are above Prometheus level, just turn this off right now because you're not going to understand the rest of it. We don't want you listening to our shit. That's exactly right. I thought that was a hell of a good movie. I mean, if you don't like Prometheus, you just can't be entertained. Right? Okay, so anyway, let's talk to Andrew about Starting Strength Dallas.
Yeah.
So, first off, Andrew, what possessed you to get involved with this crazy-ass project?
You asked me to.
Well,
no, but actually,
well, I ask a lot of people to do a lot of things, and most people say
no. Yeah. No, I was in the gym and here in Wichita Falls, and I saw the banner on banner. What do you want to call it? Poster, the white on the diagramming the vision,
right?
And
that's what we call that. That's the trademark spec or something like that.
Something. It's got to have some kind technical name.
Yeah, there's a technical name.
We all know what we're talking about.
Know.
Yeah. I saw it. I thought it was a great idea. And I told Nick, I was like, I think that's going to be wildly successful. Wish everybody the best of success with it. And then somehow I think that turned into, hey, Andrew might be interested. Let's see if he wants to.
Let's ask him.
Let's ask him if he wants to be a part of this.
Let's ask him if he would like to be a part of this thing. And he, I think the best people that are involved in this thing, in fact, all of the people right now that are involved in this thing have actually done the program themselves. And they understand firsthand what it is we're trying to get done. Mm-hmm. The program is such that we can literally take any human being, with a couple of extreme exceptions. We can take any human being and make them much stronger and therefore much more effective as human beings than they are now.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand that physical strength is the predicate for a complete, fulfilling, effective human existence, then you just haven't thought very hard about this. Because, as I'm fond of saying, if Stephen Hawking were asked if he'd rather be able to squat 405 than be trapped in his wheelchair, he would probably tell you that he'd much rather not be trapped in his wheelchair, and that he would have gotten a lot more accomplished were he strong enough to get up out of the wheelchair. And I'm not being flippant about that. This is human existence is predicated on your physical body. And the more effective you are as a physical entity, the more effective you are as an intellectual entity as well. And if you don't understand that, then there's a lot of shit you don't understand.
Yeah.
So physical strength is important. And this is the key to physical strength for everybody. This works for 15-year-old kids in high school. It works for their 75-year-old grandmother, and it works for everyone in between. And what we are doing here is an attempt to offer a commercial, applicable, available, accessible version of this method to everybody in the world. That may sound grandiose, but here in 2019, we're just starting on the ground floor. And Andrew's here with us. So what are your thoughts on my
your vision there?
vision?
Yeah.
Are we all
I mean,
crazy as hell?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. It matches my personal experience, which was, even growing up, I always was fascinating with getting stronger and did everything wrong and failed to get stronger for years.
Me too.
And then I discovered CrossFit, and it was actually great.
Sure.
I got stronger.
Sure.
There was a lot of things about the culture that I loved, and then I started getting surgery because of injuries, and I watched my friends develop injuries.
Yeah.
And we all loved CrossFit, but it wasn't sustainable.
There's some fundamental flaws
Yeah.
in
And
their theory.
my genetics could not sustain CrossFit, and
No.
there are probably some people that can, but I think not maybe for the masses. Yeah.
Right. But the idea that that CrossFit brings to us is that hard is important. Hard works. Easy doesn't work.
Yep.
Right? Now, hard has to be carefully structured. And this is the problem over there. But I think we've solved that because we apply the concept of hard to the problem of how do we get stronger than we are now in a programmable, systematic way that doesn't hurt you, that everybody can do, and that works every single time it's tried. And this is what we're doing. And our experience with the method that we've developed here over the past 10 or 12 years has shown conclusively that this works every time it's tried.
Yeah.
There is essentially, this is the safest approach to exercise that there is. And it's safe because of the systematic nature in which the stress, recovery, adaptation cycle is applied to individual physiology. And that thing works. Stress, recovery, adaptation works because you are biological and you are alive. And anyone that's biological and alive has cells that respond to the stress that the environment places on them. And it's terribly basic and terribly simple. And it makes it accessible to everyone. And this is what makes it commercial.
Well, and I think there's so many people that are going to benefit from this. I can only speak from my own experience. My own experience was years of trying to get stronger, the desire to have a healthy body for a long time, whatever that means, but to be strong,
Right.
and failing, injuries, not accomplishing the goals that you want, and then
Trying
just
very,
do
very
what
hard.
you say to do, yeah,
Trying very, very hard.
Yeah,
and have it not work.
and have it not work, and then to discover something that works, and to see it work for everybody that tries it time after time again it's amazing.
It really is.
It doesn't sound believable because there's so much bullshit out there.
It doesn't sound believable to most people because it's not complicated. And stupid people are fascinated with complexity. I'm sorry, but stupid people are fascinated with complexity. That just because it it fascinates them that because they don't understand the workings of it, that it must work, it must be good, and it's something we've got to embrace.
Like as in there's secret knowledge or something like that.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
If you're doing the complicated shit, well, now you're in the club, and if you can join the club and you can be in a club that other people don't understand the workings of, this is, what's that word, cult? then everybody likes the idea of being inside. Everybody likes the in-group psychology thing that goes on in so many aspects of strength and conditioning. The more complicated we can make this, the better lots and lots of people like it. And our approach is so completely the opposite of that that most people don't understand. That we have 5 exercises. What are the exercises that work everything? Well, there's the squat, there's the press, the bench press, the deadlift, the power clean. And if those things work everything, why do we need to do any of this other shit? Well, we don't. So how do we make these work most effectively? Well, we start with the empty bar, we warm them up, we go up in weight, and we end up with a weight that is 5 pounds heavier than we used last time.
How did you figure that out?
I figured it out by training people in the gym on the barbell exercises, because I was a power lifter at the time, and I just kind of was brought into the business from a powerlifting standpoint, and it did occur to me to not use the squat, the bench, and the deadlift. And so I started doing that. I developed the ways to teach these lifts very, very quickly and very effectively. And the 5 pounds of workout thing was interesting because, and I've talked about this several other places, but basically it was a commercial decision, because here I am doing personal training with 10 or 12 clients. Not the greatest number of clients, but it's a small town. And so I had 10 or 12 people that I was going to try to retain every month. I need their $300. So I'm going to show them progress. So I got a book. I got a, dappled, what do you call those little composition notebooks? And I got one of those things, and I would record 5 workouts on the first page in a column, one right after another, and then 5 pages on the other. And at the end of 10 workouts, I would show them their squat number. They'd done the same number of reps, but guy starts out at 115, and 10 workouts later, he's doing 185 pounds.
Yeah.
You just gained 70 pounds on your squat, and we're not slowing down. You want to be stronger? This is the way to do it.
Yep.
Extrapolate that out for 5 more turns of the page, and where do you think you're going to be? Now, not everybody wants to be stronger. This is the problem we've got. Not everybody understands how fundamentally important it is to just be stronger. If you're not already very strong, the most difference you can make in not only your performance but your appearance is to get stronger. Not everybody's capable of understanding that. So you lose some.
Because the whole culture has been taught to think about it differently.
Yes.
It literally is a difficult concept.
Literally every other information input these people have is the opposite of what we're saying.
Yeah. So it seems crazy.
Yes, it does seem crazy.
Yeah.
It seems too simple. It's just too straightforward. It can't possibly be complicated enough to work. And that's where the narrow casting concept comes from. We are telling everybody that this is the way to go. We're broadcasting. But a few people are receiving the signal. We're narrow. We are intentionally broadcasting, but the net effect is a narrow cast. To people who are intelligent enough to understand that this approach is the only logical way to get this task accomplished. and it just takes a little bit brighter than average person. Thankfully, if you go into a big enough city like Dallas, there are enough intelligent people to sell 144 memberships to. And that's what we're doing. And
so we got to talk about the value of coaching then, because
yes, we do. Yes,
and that goes back to my personal experience, which was discovered starting strength, trying to get strong. I'm an average athlete, not genetically gifted to be overly strong, just average, and very quickly realized I wasn't seeing some of the progress. And when Nick was giving me coaching cues and you were giving me coaching cues, it was a massive difference. That was the catalyst that allowed me to stay on the program. So I'm sure there are some natural athletes out there that don't need coaching, but I don't think that's not the majority of us.
There are even fewer of those than there are people who are intelligent enough to understand what we're doing. Because
Right.
natural athletes, freak athletes,
Sure.
there are, in the United States right now, there are probably, 50,000 of those people? A grand
reasonable
total
number.
of 50,000 people with a 36-inch standing vertical jump and amazing visual learning ability.
Amazing mirror neurons. They just watch it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They can
One
watch
time.
and do.
Yep.
There are 50,000 people
And
on
those
the
are the worst
continental
coaches.
United States. Those people are absolutely incapable of coaching
Yes, terrible.
anything.
Because they never had to
Because they
struggle.
don't
and learn.
understand why you don't already
Yeah,
have
yeah,
the ability to
yeah.
do what they can do.
Just do what I just did.
Just do it.
Why can't you? Yeah. Yeah.
You don't understand. Let me show you again.
Do it. Yeah.
Let me
Maybe
show
we
you
need to
again.
put more weight on there. Maybe there's not enough
there's-
resistance
yeah,
or something.
that's obviously the problem.
yeah.
So those people are not coaches. Those people are not the market for this product. They're absolutely not the market for this product.
Right.
Which explains Division I coaching and professional level strength and conditioning coaching. If you'll just sit here and think about it for just a second, if your team is made up of freaks like that, they don't need you. They don't need you to coach them. They'd rather you get out of their way because they're already very good, or they wouldn't be there.
Right.
Right? They're already very strong, or they wouldn't be on the team. Right? And your silly nonsense of jumping up in the air with resistance bands and throwing dumbbells around while you're balancing on one leg on a Bosu ball, that doesn't make you stronger. It allows you to display the ability you've already got, and for people with a huge amount of ability, that's sufficient.
Yeah.
But it's not what we're trying to do. We are trying to find a way to take those people's parents and grandparents and their less talented cousins and brothers and sisters and hand them the level of ability, a level of ability that's far in excess of what they currently possess. And there's one effective way to do that, and that is to make them stronger.
Yeah.
And this method of making them stronger works every single time because it's predicated on arithmetic. If I find out where you're squatting today by teaching you how to do the movement correctly, finding a standard movement pattern that you are to execute in the prescribed manner, and that's derived from our analysis of physiology and anatomy. So the method is basically predicated on a coach who knows how to do this, teaching the movement pattern, and at the same time measuring the strength level of the trainee in that movement pattern. And our coaches know how to do this. They take you up to what we consider to be the first day's set of 5 as a measurement point. That's the point where you can execute the movement pattern correctly with a moderate amount of weight and stopping at a point where any more weight would start to cause deviations from the correct movement pattern. A correct movement pattern has been determined by our analysis and decades of experience with these 5 basic exercises. And at that stopping point, we cease going up that day, and then the next workout, we go up a small amount of weight. And then the following workout, we go up a small amount of weight. And from that point on, we go up a small amount of weight. And going up on the same exercise, the same movement pattern, a small amount of weight forces a strength adaptation. It cannot happen any other way. It works every single time it's tried, and this is the simple part. It's not complicated. Every other exercise program in use in the industry today is predicated on varying the exercises. Ours is completely different from that. We use the same exercises every time, but we go up in load. And since the exercises are designed to use the entire amount of muscle mass over the longest possible range of motion with steadily and slowly increasing amounts of weight, strength is the adaptation for the whole body. It works every single time it's tried. But it's too goddamn simple for most people to understand that this is the only way that works. You can't do an exercise once every 5 weeks and have any strength increase occur in that exercise, unless you're just a baby novice.
So, because I think a lot of people listening to this, well, maybe they're already starting strength fans, but for people that aren't and don't know anything about it, they may find it unbelievable. But the results and how well it works and how it works for everybody. But I think this is true in everything in life. If you look at successful people, they will all tell you, or not all, but a vast majority of them will tell you they actually do simple things every day or with a repeated frequency.
Over and over and over.
Over and over again. And this adds up to a lifetime of a massive result.
How do you learn to play the piano?
A little bit. Very, very, very simple. And so all successful people will tell you this. And so here's Mark Rippetoe saying, this is how you do it.
Same thing applies to strength and conditioning.
It works.
And it works.
It works.
But everybody else is more interested, I believe, in entertaining the client than they are in strengthening the client. Because I'll have to admit, it's boring to come in and do the same 5 exercises over and over and over again. And only goal-focused people can understand that new exercises aren't the point. The personal record is the point. More weight than I've ever done before. Every workout for as long as that works. That's the point. And
not getting weaker as we get older.
And people who are focused and intelligent and have gone through that process in other aspects of their existence understand the fundamental nature of this process. And they appreciate the simplicity and the effectiveness and the efficiency. This is the only way to not waste time in terms of developing your strength potential. But first you have to appreciate the idea that strength is the key.
And that's, I mean, it's so easy to get excited about this because
it really is.
No matter how great your life is, at the point that you've lost your strength, you've lost your ability to enjoy
You're done.
the vast majority of things in life.
Right.
And so I know this whole thing sounds like an infomercial for Starting Strength Dallas, which it kind of is at this point.
Well, and it ought to be, damn it. I mean, what are we trying to do here? We want you to buy a membership if you live in Dallas, to Starting Strength Dallas, because it's the best use of your time and your money. Yeah, we're going to make some money off of it, but you're going to make far more when you do this program. You're going to be far ahead of the money you spent, because how do you put a value? Oh, I don't want to go to that level of silly bullshit. But you understand what I'm saying.
No,
you understand what
I'm 100% with you. Yeah. We're believers.
Yes.
And I hope some people will watch this and take the. I guess that's a risk. They have to believe what we're saying right now. They have to believe that my experience, that you're saying all this stuff, and it matched with my experience and other people's experience, and it worked, and they should try it. Yeah, and it really, but here's another interesting thing. It's not really that much of a risk. If you're in the fitness industry right now, you're participating, you're patronizing the fitness industry right now, and you got a personal trainer in Dallas,
What's that worth?
Mm-hmm.
$500 a month.
So
If you're with a trainer that anybody knows who he is, you're spending $500 a month. And what are we charging at Starting Strength Dallas?
Yeah, $365 a month.
$365 a month,
which I think is a great deal
it's stupid.
for a coach. Yeah,
it's stupid. Is what it is.
Yeah,
it's stupid. You're going to pay $500 to have somebody babysit you while you do leg extensions. Mm-hmm. What, you lost your mind? We're gonna put you with a coach that's going to teach you movement patterns that you don't know, that are terribly important.
And I am not the coach of Starting Strength Dallas.
No,
thankfully,
Brent J. Carter is our operating partner down there, and he is the guy that's put this whole thing together. He's a staff coach for Starting Strength seminars. We rely on him for several of our lectures on our weekend seminars. He's as competent a guy as we've got anywhere in the system, and he's running Starting Strength Dallas, and you're going to be amazed by what he can teach you how to do that you don't know how. And you may already think you know how to squat. You don't know how to squat. I'm sorry. You're mad. Now you turned it off. Good. Good. Turn it off.
Yeah.
But you don't know how to squat. And Carter's going to show you how to squat. And it's only going to take him about 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And you'll be squatting better than you've ever squatted. And if you go through the process, you'll say, well, Rippetoe, you're right. I wasn't squatting correctly. This works much better. And he knows how to do that quickly and efficiently, and he knows how to improve your training as a result of this. And I think that you ought to give this some thought. I think you ought to give Starting Strength Dallas some thought. Now, Dallas is a hot market. I've got some numbers here.
Okay.
It says right here, Dallas is the number 4 city in the nation for use in terms of hits to the website. Number 4 in the nation. That's behind New York, L.A., and Chicago. Dallas is number 4.
We're a real city now.
You guys are going to sell every one of these memberships very, very soon, and there won't be any more available till you get another gym open. So if you're at least partially interested in this, you need to investigate signing up just right now. We have had 114,000 hits to the website in the last 12 months from DFW. And Ray doesn't mean hits, he means individual visits. Hits is bullshit. 114,000 distinct visitors to the website in the past 12 months from DFW. There's interest in this product in that area. Real estate is on fire. Real estate is a pain in the ass. It's not on fire. Real estate, commercial real estate has been the hardest part of this entire business endeavor. We have had absolutely.
We wanted to put the gym in the best part of Dallas.
We wanted
to get to it.
Yeah, we have data on where in Dallas the interest is from the website and our website metrics. And so we've placed the gym we've located an area in Dallas for the gym, and we had a hell of a time finding a place. And we've settled on a strip center on Greenville Avenue that's just south of Caruth Haven. And this is a hot part of town. There are other franchise locations all up and down the street there. It's north end of Greenville Avenue, and it's a cooking little place. And Dallas is probably the fastest growing market in the country. People are moving to Texas because they're escaping from wherever it is that you live, and they're going to DFW. And DFW is a busy place, and as long as the government stays relatively stable and the fuck out of our way, we're going to have an excellent economy, and you're going to have more money to spend on things that you know you need to spend it on, instead of just the absolute requirements for being alive. And this business is going to grow. Dallas is going to grow with it. This would be the first of several Starting Strength gyms in the Metroplex, and Andrew's involved. He's hip deep in this whole thing because of the obvious commercial viability of this program. And it is, here it is right here. It's the fastest growing Metroplex in the country.
Wow.
140,000 residents added between 2015 and 2016. 140,000 residents, more people than the population of Wichita Falls.
Well, and you live
And those are only the legal ones that we know about, right?
Yeah.
And
you live close to the Metroplex.
I'm 2 hours
Yeah,
from starting strength Dallas.
You might pop down to the
I
gym.
will be
Might
there
show up.
occasionally.
Yeah.
I go down there to shop. Every time I'm in town, I'll be at the gym. You might run into me. So Dallas is really going to be an important location for us because it's going to be the start of several other gyms in that same area, and we're real anxious to watch this develop and watch the market, and we're anxious to have you come join us. Now, all right, Andrew earlier said that he was an average athlete, but I'm going to tell you, and this is probably going to make him all embarrassed and everything, that Andrew Mueller is not an average guy. And I want you to understand who we're dealing with here. Andrew, now, you told me this, and if I fuck this up, please understand. You got into medical school without a 4-year degree in pre-med, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting because not many people do that. I didn't know it was possible.
Right.
What program will accept an undergraduate without a pre-med degree?
Yeah, I don't know. I slipped in. So I did go to community college, and I got an associate's degree in math.
He has an associate's degree,
and
he got into medical school.
Well, then I got to dental school, and then after dental school, I went to medical school.
So you got into dental school first.
And then
All right. All right. Andrew is an oral surgeon.
Yeah.
So this means that Andrew is a dentist and a surgeon, and that he went to dental school, medical school, and a surgery residency.
Yeah, that's
right?
true. Yeah.
And you're how old right now?
34.
There are guys that are 34 that are still in medical school.
Yeah.
You know,
What am I doing with my life?
you're fucking around. It's like I did. It's like everybody does. But Andrew doesn't fuck around, apparently. And so what did you do while you were in school? What did that all look like? What did dental school? How long did it take you to get through dental school?
So dental school was 4 years.
It's a 4-year
That was
curriculum.
4 years.
You can't do it faster than that.
Can't do it faster than that. And then after that, I did a 6-year residency that included medical school. That's when I moved to Texas.
Right. So you were in medical school as part of the dental residency. Is that
Part of the oral surgery residency. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So about half of the oral surgeons go to medical school. So that's why I did that, and that's what got me to Dallas. That's what got me to Texas.
Can you be an oral surgeon without going to medical school?
You can. About half of them. Half of them are. I just wanted to. I didn't
Wanted
want to
that
not.
background
I wanted
as
to
well.
know. Yeah. You
Right,
don't.
sure.
Yeah. You don't know until you do something.
Right.
Yeah. Which
Right.
defines a lot of my life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just got to check the box, see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then after you got out of that residency program, which would be a total of 10 years worth of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So it's 4 years of dental school, 6 years of medical school, and oral surgery residency.
You nailed it. Yeah.
And then you went in, and how old were you when you got into medical school or into dental school?
Oh, 20.
20.
Yeah.
So now you're 30. You're loose. You're loose on the world,
Yeah.
roaming around, making the world your toy. and what's your business history? This is even more fascinating.
Yeah. When I was in residency, I started my first practice. I don't love talking about myself, but I will. Since
Well,
that's what
how
we're
did
doing,
you
that's fine.
how
Yeah.
do you do that as a resident?
I guess I was just way too driven. Yeah.
How do you have time to do a practice
Yeah.
while you're taking a residency?
I don't know that I would recommend it. Anyone watching this, I don't recommend.
There's not a lot of sleep involved in this.
Yeah. But I did it, and it was successful, and so I built up my first, and I still have that pretty large successful practice, and then there's
Is that the one you operate within now?
It's one of them. Yeah, but no, that was but then there was one that came available here in Wichita Falls, and
Right.
And that's when I moved here to Wichita Falls, Texas, which is when I graduated in 2015 and met you. And then since then, I've opened some other businesses that have all been really in the medical field, some other practices. But now
How many practices do you own? if
four,
you feel
four
like
or five, or
4 or 5 you can't remember.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Any other businesses?
Starting Strength Dallas. Yeah, this is my first
Non-medical.
Yeah.
Well, that's terribly interesting. Andrew operates at a high level, and he sees the value in what we're doing. And here may be an edit, or this may not be an edit, depending on what you guys want to do with this. We're sitting here recording this on a Wednesday. Tomorrow, I've got a guy coming in from Connecticut, Dr. Abil Manji, cardiologist at Yale Medical Center, is coming in to talk to us about the use of this program in cardiac rehab.
It's medical week and Starting Strength.
It is. And here's another guy that sees the value of this thing, and that podcast will be up soon as well. Dr. Manji came to our seminar in Maryland and was interested in what we do, both for his own personal benefit and for the benefit of his patients. And his ideas on cardiac rehab are interesting because he has observed firsthand the limitations of the current cardiac rehab paradigm. And I've got a guy here, a buddy of mine, that had heart surgery about 2.5 years ago. He's 67. He had a double bypass prior to a heart attack. They located the occlusion and said, we need to get you in like now. And took him in and chopped his chest open and fixed him and sewed him back up and everything. And and I've known this guy for Scott Davidson. I've known him for a long time. And he had an interesting experience when he woke up from surgery in the subsequent couple of weeks. He was in the hospital about a week. He said he couldn't believe how.
He already trains with you?
Yeah,
Scott.
yeah,
Okay.
he trains with me at night.
Okay.
He observed that he couldn't believe how weak he was. He could hardly lift his arms. He said the weakness was profound, and it really scared the hell out of him. And I'd been yelling at him for years to get your ass in the gym. And he said, I wish, in retrospect, all this bullshit, standard thing everybody says in retrospect, 20/20, hindsight, all that shit. So he came in, and first day that he came in, I had him squat the empty bar for a couple of sets of 5. I had him bench press the empty bar, being very careful not to touch his freshly sewed together sternum. For a couple of sets of 5. I had him pull 88 pounds off the floor for 1 set of 5 deadlifts, and I had him push the prowler up and down once, empty. And his statement to me was absolutely amazing. He said, that is harder in terms of my heart rate, my breathing rate. That is far harder than the last day I had cardiac rehab. And I thought, my God, these guys are taking it easy on you, aren't they?
Yeah.
And then you realize they're not there to rehab anybody. They're there to not get sued. They're there to cover their ass.
Well,
they're not doing anything hard enough to rehab.
Yeah. I think part of it too, the goal of rehab is to get you back to whatever is normal, and the standard for that is set so
that was
unbelievably low.
It was the normal that you were before the accident or the heart attack, or which is the shape that you were in that got you on the table to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, we'd like to improve on that so that this doesn't happen again, but they don't. They don't understand the process by which you have to do that, and we're going to talk to him about this. But nonetheless, talking about your situation is it's fascinating. You've had a lot of interesting experiences personally. You're a pilot. That really scares me.
He's
What
not
was that?
actually that smart. He's got to tell you the Go Mad story.
Oh, he does.
that's a good. That's
The
a,
Go
that's a
Mad
good
story.
Yeah,
He didn't
yeah.
try that in the plane.
Yeah, no. Why?
Before
No.
the plane.
Before the plane talk.
When I started drinking the gallon of milk a day,
Yeah.
which worked amazing.
Yeah, it worked pretty well.
I've never been lactose intolerant, so it wasn't on my radar that this would be possible. I'm drinking a gallon of milk a day, and I tell Nick, I said, "Man, my stomach has just been bothering me a little bit," and didn't put together that maybe you can drink 2 cups of milk a day and not be lactose intolerant.
and-
But at a gallon, you might
At
need
a
to
gallon,
switch
it
to
might
lactose-free.
overwhelm your ability to produce the lactase.
Right.
It could,
Totally.
there could be another adaptation thing,
Yeah.
A stress recovery.
Right.
That
But
the
going from-
milk's a stress and you recover from that stress and a lactase level comes up.
Going
and then the
straight
milk
to a
goes
gallon
up.
of milk may upset your stomach.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Why do I have to tell you?
Yeah, you're an intelligent man.
Figured it out quick after.
You don't
True
understand that enzyme levels adapt too. God almighty.
Oh,
Yeah,
true story.
people are even ostensibly intelligent people sometimes
Miss some
overlook
concepts.
the simplest concepts.
sure.
Don't they?
But I think one of the things you're getting to, starting to drink, there's definitely a community of people that are highly goal oriented, often successful in whatever they choose to be successful in.
Almost to a
And-
man.
Yeah,
they're all. Everybody is focused on something way over there.
Yep.
You know,
And they wanna get
not
there
today's
efficiently.
workout,
Right.
but they want to go.
Yeah.
They can see a climb,
Right.
and they can see a hill to be on higher
Yeah.
than they're standing on now. And not everybody lives their life like that.
No, but if you're watching this, you know if you're one of those types of people.
Sure.
And there's zero question this is for you.
Oh,
and I wish everybody else would
Absolutely.
just give it a try too, because it'll be awesome. But
Because it does work.
Yeah.
It works every time it's been tried.
Yep.
Now tell us about the airplane.
I just
What
got a new
made you
airplane.
want to fly into cumulogranite granite someday? What is your
I did
problem?
I just flew around a cumulonimbus. And I'm a somewhat amateur pilot, so if there's any professional pilots,
How many hours in your logbook?
300, which I've accumulated in the last year. So
Yeah,
I
that's
fly
a lot of time.
I fly
That's a lot of
I fly a
time.
lot. I flew here today, and I just got a plane with a parachute, which makes my mother feel more comfortable.
The plane has a parachute, or there's a parachute in the plane
no.
for you?
The plane has a parachute. If something went wrong, you might not have enough time to get your own parachute on and eject. So the whole plane has a parachute.
Well, if something goes on 10 feet above the runway,
You're screwed.
Yeah.
You're done.
You know.
Yeah, don't pull the
this,
parachute then.
this thing is for a stall.
It's for, or engine failure.
8,000
You have to
feet or
be
something
you have
like
to be 600 feet above the ground. Anything below that, the parachute just makes you a lawn dart. And,
Right.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
gives you
Yeah.
a little direction.
Yeah.
Provides just enough drag
quicken
to
the
produce an angle.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
That's-
absolutely. Yeah. But 100% survival when it's deployed properly.
Wow.
Saved, I think, 90 something lives. Yeah, it's very cool.
90 lives. That's a lot of people.
That actually is a lot of people. Yeah. So no, flying's a blast.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm
Big
not,
passion of mine.
Flying requires a type of intellect that I just don't possess.
Your
And
dyslexia.
I'm not gonna. I have left-right dyslexia and a
Yeah.
whole bunch of other dyslexias too that are not conducive to survival.
Could you focus long enough?
I can focus just fine, but I focus incorrectly.
Okay.
I just make numerical mistakes
Yeah.
all the time.
Flying's not for you.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's an extremely quantitative endeavor.
Yeah.
And I'm not that kind of guy at all.
But I was going to say, you said the cumulogranite. I forgot what I was going to say. I was flying down to Possum Kingdom, which is south of Wichita Falls.
Yeah.
And there wasn't any forecast. There wasn't any thunderstorms forecasted, just the possibility, which is every day in Wichita Falls this time of
Right.
year.
Oh, yeah.
And I see a cumulonimbus cloud, and I see it start to grow. It's about 30 miles. And
Yeah.
seeing that from
It's
the air-
amazing how fast those things come up.
Yeah.
And when
I
I
just
when I
started
fly
diverting
commercially,
around. Yeah.
well, when I fly commercially, the fascinating thing about flying commercially is getting to see shit from 38,000
Yeah.
feet.
You've seen them grow? Yeah.
You watch them grow. You watch them balloon up.
Yeah.
But you can see topography and geomorphology and all kinds of things that you can't see when you're here.
Right.
You know, you can see the whole process in macro, and it's just fascinating to see. And if I was, one of the fascinating things about about flying your own airplane. When I was in high school, we had an extremely progressive little program there. One of the teachers at school and the vice principal at school had a little airplane.
You guys got to fly it.
And we got to fly it.
That never
We
happened
were in
today,
aerospace
right? Yeah.
science class.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's cool.
And we had a semester of aerospace science, and every one of us got to fly the plane.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were supposed to plot a course. It was essentially ground school, the whole thing. The plane was a 1946 Taylor craft.
Okay. No idea what.
4 gallons per hour.
Okay.
Oh, it's a little,
Like a little Cessna 152.
It's a little. No, it's not even
You're
close to.
okay.
It's a little linen.
Oh, wow.
Linen
Okay.
spar.
Okay.
Doped linen airplane. They made them for a long time back. They're little bitty engines. They're top speeds like 95 miles an hour ground speed, and it was a.
Was it just a kite in the air? Just got
it's
pushed by. Yeah.
Basically, it was a powered. I guess it was a glorified powered hang glider is really what it was. But they were very old airplanes, and I don't know how many of them they made. There may still be many of them around, but it was a little cheap airplane. And what Mr. Reed told us is that he would take this thing out in the summer and just be gone for a couple of months. And the thing gets 4 gallons an hour. You can fly all the way up to Montana and back. And I think the functional ceiling of this aircraft was, whatever unpressurized shit is, 10,000 feet.
Mm-hmm. At this point, totally unregulated. You go hop in the plane. You don't have to tell anybody where you're going, and you go pick a city on a map and show up.
That's
and land
cool.
there.
If I had the
Land
technical ability to do
if you
it,
could if your eyes
I probably would. But I have enough sense to know that I don't have the technical ability. It's why I put my motorcycle up too. I just lack the patience. I lack the patience, and you're texting. And I'm not interested in interrupting your soliloquy.
Did you go through the progression? I've put the motorcycle keys down for the last time.
Right.
I'll never pick them up again to ride it. But I haven't sold it yet. I'm in that period where I don't want to give them up. But I know I'm never. I've told myself I'll never ride it again. Yeah.
I've got I've still got both my saddles at home.
Okay.
I'm out of the horse business. I've been out of the horse business since 2002.
Yeah.
But I just can't
get rid of it. Yeah.
Sell those 2 saddles. Yeah.
I get it.
I've got an expensive Steuben Siegfried that's worth a bunch of money, and I've got an old King Ranch saddle, a Western saddle.
What's a King Ranch saddle? Does that refer to like the actual King Ranch?
The King Ranch had a
down in Texas.
Licensed this design and stuff. This saddle's probably a 1962 model. It's an old saddle, old style rope in the saddle with a little short horn on it and stuff. But I just can't get rid of the goddamn thing. I miss it so much, but I can't ride anymore. I can't do it. I can't get hurt. And I can't just go out and walk around, so I'm out of the horse business. I'm not there to take care of them. I thought, I have a dream about riding once a week. Without fail. I miss it so goddamn bad. It was just such an important part of my life for 30 years, and I can't do it. I can't take the risk, and it saddens me deeply. Yeah. Because it was a lot of fun. So flying to you is kind of like that was to me.
Yeah.
It's just
what
you everything else enables you to do that thing. No, I
totally get it. Yeah,
I understand it completely.
I wanted to ask you a question. Totally switching gears. You butchered a sheep for me recently.
Yeah.
You had several sheep butchered.
Yeah.
I got it in my freezer. And I'm completely confused. It's delicious.
Oh, it's the best.
Absolutely delicious.
Yeah, and people don't understand. It's the best meat in North America.
It's just frozen meat, and it's so good. And here's what I don't understand. All growing up, frozen meat was an inferior product in my mind. Like anytime I was going to get, if the meat had been previously frozen, I just knew it wasn't going to be very good. Why? I always assumed it was the freezing process. Clearly, it's not.
No, because that idea that frozen meat is an inferior product is what we call wrong.
Okay.
That's wrong. Some shit is
Just
wrong.
But is there a reason
it's
why?
Why it's
Why
wrong?
we remember?
Because if you put your freezer down to 20 below zero,
Okay, that's what it is.
and you're going to have the whole sheep, you have to do something with him because you can't eat him all today. So I guess we have no choice but to freeze his little fuzzy ass. So what you do is you have him processed, and you bring him home from the processor, and you put him in your chest freezer, and you have turned down to 9, which is about 20 below. And red meat of that type will keep perfectly frozen for 3 years. And if it's cold enough, it will keep perfectly for 3 years. You can keep venison. I got 4-year-old venison that I eat because it just stays. Now, pork won't freeze that long. And pork keeps maybe 9 months, even at 20 below. It doesn't keep that long, and the only thing I can figure out is that the fatty acids in pork are just not saturated enough to be stable even at 20 below. Pork doesn't keep as long as beef. Beef and mutton keep for years.
Yeah.
Venison keeps for years and years. The problem most people have with it is they don't have it cold enough. Now, it won't keep at 0. It won't keep in the refrigerator, your refrigerator's freezer.
Right.
It won't stay there.
Yeah, that doesn't go very long.
That doesn't keep very
Yeah.
long because it's just not cold enough. But you get the shit cold enough, and it's fine for
Yeah, I'm shocked by it.
decades. It's
fantastic.
amazing.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
amazing.
shocked by it.
But it's so damn good.
Yeah.
And here we've let the cat out of the bag. Now we won't be able
I
to
know.
buy
Now you're
sheep
gonna
anymore.
get your door beat down for more sheep. But
The guy that I buy sheep from will not have. I'm sorry, I've sold them.
yeah.
They're all counted
Demand
for.
has gone
Rippetoe.
up, yeah.
Sorry, Rippetoe. They're all counted for.
So I have another. Can I ask you a serious question?
Please.
What are you most? You've done a ton in your life, and what are you most proud of?
This.
What we're doing right now.
What we're doing right
Really?
now. Yes, because
No bullshit.
No bullshit.
Okay.
Absolutely no bullshit.
Okay.
I've done all kinds of stupid, selfish things that are not to be proud of, but that I've enjoyed doing. But this is cool. This helps people. This I'm proud of it because it helps people, but I'm also proud of it because, as odd as it seems, we're the first ones to think this up. It's so ridiculously obvious. What we're doing is so ridiculously obvious to me, and to understand that this is the only product of its type in this entire industry. It's just interesting to me that I'm the one that thought all this shit up. I mean, I've had lots and lots and lots of help, but I basically collated all this stuff, and it's never been presented in this form before. And God damn it, it works every single time. It works for your mom, your dad, your grandparents, your children, everybody, your dogs, your cats, everything. This is just basic applied biology. Basic applied biology is all this is, and I'm just proud to have been able to make this contribution. And I really honestly think it is a contribution.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Those of you watching may disagree with this, and you're certainly free to. But, I mean, here we are, and we're doing this by ourselves. And I'm proud of having done this, but I'm proud of people like Andrew that have seen the potential and have decided to vote with their feet and have invested with us and have joined the effort to make all of you stronger than you are right now.
I hope that in the Dallas gym we do get a lot of that. The gym is full of older people and women and just a diverse group of people. We're going to have some meatheads because, of course, which is great. That's fine. But I hope we have a gym that's full of a big diverse group of people.
I think what you'll find is that there aren't a lot of meatheads because they don't have the money for this, and they already know what to do. And everything in Starting Strength Dallas is going to be controlled by Brent Carter and you. And they're not into that kind of shit. Yeah. So what you're going to find is that Starting Strength Dallas is populated by an older demographic of intelligent, accomplished people who see the value in this and are telling their friends about it and are having their lives enhanced to a level that really they won't even believe as a result of having participated in this program.
I'll second that.
Andrew, thank you. Andrew Mueller's been our guest today, and I hope you got something out of this. We'll see you next time on Starting Strength Radio.